Hello, I'm Randy McClure. Welcome to the latest supply chain tech brief.
So let's talk about something that's a total game changer for high stakes executive decisions. We're going to move way beyond just gut feelings and those endless soul crushing spreadsheets to something a whole lot smarter and faster. Let's dive in. You've probably seen this before, right? A leader just buried in data, but when it comes down to it, they have to make a huge call based on intuition. It's this high wire act that plays out in boardrooms every single day. And frankly, it's a massive risk. And that really brings us to the core question. I mean, we have all this incredible technology, AI, big data, you name it. So why do these multi-million dollar decisions still feel like we're just guessing? It's a huge paradox, and it's exactly what we're going to unpack today. All right, so where does this problem really start? Well, it begins with what you could call the modern executive's dilemma. And here's the kicker. It's not about a lack of information. No, it's the complete opposite. They're literally drowning in it. This quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. Companies are gathering more data than ever before, but for the folks at the top, it's just not translating into clear, actionable intelligence. It's all noise and no signal. So what is causing this massive disconnect? Well, the root of the problem, funny enough, lies with the very tools that are supposed to be helping. The truth is, they just weren't built for the way top leaders actually need to make decisions. Okay, check this out. This table lays it all bare. Every single type of enterprise software we use today basically operates in its own little digital silo. Your execution systems, they're laser focused on just one function. Your visibility tools, they're great at telling you something's wrong, but they offer zero help on how to fix it. And planning software, way too slow. The result is this totally fragmented picture of the business that makes agile, big picture decision making almost impossible. So, if all the old tools are basically broken for this purpose, what's the answer? Well, this brings us to a completely new idea, a fresh approach that's designed from the ground up to solve these exact problems. Let me introduce you to the Agile Decision Platform. Now, don't think of this as just another dashboard with more charts. No, no. Think of it as a unified command center. It's designed to cut through all that noise and give leaders exactly what they need: insights across the entire business, optimal choices, and a way to get everyone on the same page fast. And this analogy is just perfect. You know, a fighter pilot's cockpit doesn't just throw raw data at them. It synthesizes all the critical information into one intuitive, easy to read interface. It lets the pilot observe, get their bearings, and act in a split second. That's the whole idea here, to give executives that same level of absolute clarity and control. Okay, so this whole cockpit for executives thing sounds amazing, right? But how does it actually work? What's under the hood that makes it so powerful? Let's break it down into 5 core components. We'll call them pillars to see how it all comes together. Pillar number 1, targeted data collection. So the old way was these massive periodic data dumps that were totally overwhelming and usually out of date by the time you looked at them. This new approach, it's completely different. It's an on-demand process. The platform only pulls the most timely, relevant data needed for the specific decision you're making right now. It's all about precision over brute force. This second pillar is really the brains of the whole operation: agile decision intelligence. This is where the platform stops just showing you data and starts giving you actual answers. It uses the full spectrum of analytics to turn that raw information into something you can actually use. And you can think of this process kind of like a journey. First, the platform describes what just happened. Then, it digs deeper to diagnose why it happened. After that, it uses that knowledge to predict what's likely to happen next. But here's the most important part. It gives you a prescriptive recommendation. It tells you what you should do about it. It's a complete journey from data to a clear course of action. So pillar number 3 is all about making this power accessible. Because let's be real, the most advanced analytics on Earth are totally useless if the people in charge can't actually use them. The executive UI is that bridge. It's a workspace designed to put all that incredible power directly into the hands of decision makers in a way that just makes sense. And this UI is built around a super smart framework that military strategists have used for decades. It's called the ODA loop: observe, orient, decide, and act. It's a cycle for making smart calls under pressure. The platform walks the executive through this loop. You observe the trends, you orient to figure out the why, you decide what to do, and then you act. And there's a crucial 5th step here: adapt. You learn from the results and get better. It's a really natural, effective rhythm for decision making in a world that never slows down. Pillar number 4 is communication, because a brilliant decision is worthless if it just stays in the boardroom, right? This platform makes it easy to collaborate while you're making the decision, and then it seamlessly blasts that decision across the whole organization using the tools your team already lives in, like Slack or email. And finally, our fifth pillar, traceability. This creates a super important feedback loop. The platform actually records what decision was made and the reasoning behind it. Then it tracks the results and compares them to what was expected. This creates real accountability and lets the entire organization learn and get smarter from every single choice. So when you put all 5 of those pillars together, the targeted data, the agile intelligence, that executive UI, rapid communication, and traceability, what do you really get? It's not just a new piece of software. It's a completely new way of leading. It's a new era for decision making that can truly transform a company from the very top. This slide just lays it out perfectly. Look at this shift. We're moving from gut instinct and spreadsheets to truly data-driven insights. We're going from isolated silo decisions to genuine cross-functional alignment. And we're shifting from being reactive to being proactive, from slow, long decision cycles to rapid, iterative ones. It is a fundamental change. And this really gets to the heart of why this all matters so much. In today's world of just constant, relentless disruption, being agile isn't a nice to have, it's everything. This isn't just about surviving the next crisis. It's about building an organization that can actually thrive on change and consistently stay one step ahead of everyone else. So I want to leave you with one last question to chew on. Maybe the very definition of great leadership is changing right before our eyes. Maybe it's less about being the one person who has all the answers and more about being the person who knows how to build a system to find the best answers faster than anyone else. In a world that's only getting faster, that might just be the most important leadership skill there is.
Hello, this is Raina McClure from SC Tech Insights. Thank you for listening. For more on this topic, click the article link below or go to www.sctechinsights.com for the latest insights on supply chain technology. Thank you and see you next time.